Okay, so let's finish off these ribs we started here. Let's move that in. It's going to stick out very minimally off of this surface. Just going to move this down below our surface here. Down to this edge. In fact, we're going to line this up dead on with the edge. Just going to do it by eye. I've mentioned this in a few tutorials I've done before. If you zoom in a really long way in Rhino, you're down to hundreds of millimeters. That should be on the edge now. And I'm just going to stick it out ever so slightly further than what we have it there. And it's probably slightly too tall, so transform scale 1D from its top edge. I'm going to drag it up, and then we're going to put a fairly large radius on this edge here. Let's say 10. See what that looks like. So this edge here. Okay, and just my design sensibilities are kicking in here. I don't like the way that looks. I'm going to undo it. It's going to transform scale. Make it just a little bit longer so that our this distance and this distance are around about the same. Then we're going to add that radius on one more time. And that's reasonably in the middle. Just going to move that just a little bit. Okay, so now I want to mirror this one across. It's going to be the midpoint of this tube. And again, just for strength, we're going to copy and paste. Move this across. And paste one more time and put another one. So basically got like 3 ribs here just for strength. So that if this toolbox were to be impacted, it wouldn't open the lid too easily. So again, mirror these ones across about the midpoint of our tube. And then of course we need to integrate these into our main object. So pick in these new pieces we've just built. I'm going to split them. Hold down Control, pick the pieces I want, delete everything else. I'm going to mirror these across before we do too much more. That's about 0 this time, so we've got them on the other side too. Pick our main toolbox, split it with these pieces. Hold down Control, delete away those bits that we don't want. Control A, join. Then we need to split this one last piece with our tube here, so the tube becomes part of it. Hold down Control, delete away these 2 little circles. Control A, join one more time. This is all now one piece. And just for final strength and support, there's going to be a small rib that runs across, joins up here. So again, pretty easy to do. In fact, I want to add one more edge here. I'm going to add a bit more strength. Extrude this, this, this. And extrude that vertically. Join that together. So right now it's a kind of a nasty surface because it's got all that going on. So what I want to do is really just pick out that cross section. So I'm going to draw a curve across this. I'm going to project this curve onto this surface, delete the surface, So now I've got a curve which will exactly fit where I want it to go. So I'm going to extrude that down through our surface here. I'm going to offset that one surface, flip the direction, I'm going to offset it by 2 mil. Then one more thing we want to do is split it with this curve I just made at the top edge. Delete that away. And finally split this object with our main surface. Just deleted too much away there. Explode this. Keep these pieces that I want. For some reason they're not splitting. Delete those away. Oops, undo that. I'll keep these as well. So now we should just have 2 little pieces here. Oh, still got some bits inside. Join all that together. That's made a bit of a mess. Sorry, undo that. So I'm going to pick all of those pieces, hide everything else. Join these ones together. I don't want anything other than these 2 bits, so edit, select objects, invert, delete those away, unhide our toolbox again. I just wanted this wall around here, so I'm going to split our toolbox with these 2. It's not quite working yet. So I'm going to mirror these across to the other side. And we're going to have to split some individual surfaces in a moment. So the next thing I want to do before we do that, let's find our curve over here that we used. In fact, just make a new one. It's going to be on this edge. Pick our curve. I'm going to extrude this curve across, D for direction. And this new surface I'm going to split with these 2 and these 2. Delete away these pieces that I don't want. Join these all together. So now we've got a semi-solid. See if this will work. Split with this. Yeah, good. Okay, and same over here. Split with this. Hold down Control, delete the piece we don't want. Control A, join. Hide our tray. This tray can still come in and out because all these pieces we built miss it. Edit, select curves, put them on the curves layer. Hide the tray, don't need it right now. Now, I mentioned a rib earlier on. If we really wanted to be picky and do some better surfacing, I could go back in and kind of make these into 1 surface instead of 2. But as far as geometry goes, this is all still 1 surface. If I turn off the edge command, you can see it's 1 surface. It works fine. So I mentioned a rib across here. Let's put those in before this lesson's over. Simple again. I'm just going to do a section here. Put those. We're going to have 2 of those per bar here. I'm going to extrude a little shape I've done by 2. Going to cap it. Mirror it about the midpoint of here. Mirror them about 0. And we should just be able to do a Boolean now. Pick our main object. do these one at a time just in case it gets a bit confused. Same over here. Right click, repeat the command. Okay, so now those little ribs should work fairly well. And I think we'll call that an end to this lesson. So we just need to put a little loop on here for a lock. Sorry, that a lock could be put through, and then we'll start to work on the lid. So next lesson we'll do that.